What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today we are back at it again with another Transformer figure review. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Quintus Prime. Yes, we are on the next round of Primes, and I could not be more happy that it is Quintus here himself. So, y'all know the rules. We don't take a quick look at the figure, we take a quick look at the packaging, and the packaging is quite interesting, I must say. So, let's begin here. We have Quintus Prime right here and here. We got Quintus Prime on the side here. We got Quintus Prime on this side here going on as well. And we got the 13 Primes over here. And Quintus Prime on the back looks very entertainingly interesting, for sure. That much I can tell you. So, yes. And on the bottom here, we got words and stuff. Hey, look, it's authentic. So, yeah. Anyways. Bringing that packaging off to the side, we're going to bring this in here. And before we continue on, we're going to sweep away all of the little zip ties from the packagings. But we are also going to take a quick look at its accessory, because its accessory, I feel, is almost not really necessary. But we're going to bring it we're going to put it into the chest, because this is how this is going to work. So, you might notice that there's nothing in this chest piece here. There's nothing there. But you're going to take this crystal that literally resides inside the chest. You're going to take it, and because I don't have any fingernails, I'm going to open up this chest piece, and you're going to make sure that this piece goes right inside that port, just like so. And then you close this all back up, and then now you have it inside that piece there. So there you have that. But now that we've gotten rid of the accessory, because it's the only accessory that it comes with, we can now jump right into, you know it, scale comparison. So, I'm going to scooch it off to the side here real quick. We're going to wipe everything down, and we're going to bring in, here it is next to Solus Prime. Here it is next to the beginnings of the Age of the Primes. Here it is next to a more recent Prime. Here he is next to Micronus. Here it is next to one of the ones I'm more happy about. Here it is next to Amalgamus, who is somewhat of a similar gimmick. And finally, here he is next to Megatronus, whose flame effects seem to be wanting to pop off. So yeah. And now that we've done that, let's get into the transformation. And the transformation is very easy. Very, very, very easy. I'm not even going to lie. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to bring these side pieces of the Quintusonian jet. You're going to bring them out to the side. Then you're going to do the same thing on the front here with the front skirts. They just tab in. There's these two tab pieces that connect right into the front of these shin pieces. You're going to take this, you're going to bring it down, untab it. There's a little tab piece that goes into there. Bring this all the way down. You're going to undo the same thing on the back. There are just two pieces that go in from on these two tabs right there. You can do that. Going to, come on. You're going to undo these back pieces right like so. Fold down the foot. And that's just going to close everything up into that leg. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring this down on this hinge. Straighten it out. Come on. I need this to come undone. Problem with having no fingernails, ladies and gentlemen, is now we have to use a toothpick to get this out. There we go. So, give a round of applause for the toothpick, ladies and gentlemen. So, but anyways, going to take that, going to just tab it back into place, straighten the legs out, like so, and then you're going to bring the skirts all the way down, on both ends, like so. So, you don't have to rotate this, but you can if you want to. So, I think you want it to be this way. I think it wants it to be this way because these pieces are painted, but you don't have to have it that way. You can totally have it this way, but it's gonna want it this way. So Next thing you're going to do is you're going to come to these arm sections here. You're going to take these, bring them all the way down, and they're going to just basically stay here like so. I'm going to do this. Next, we're going to come up to these sections. You're going to come to the nose section of the jet. You're going to split it, bring it down, do the same thing on the other side, bring it down until it tabs into place. Split the arms till they come all the way out like so. Rotate at the shoulder joints to make sure the paint is facing forward. Straighten out the arms. Rotate the hands, which are a little stiff. So make sure all of this is all straightened out like so. Make sure that goes there. Straighten out the arm. Rotate things the way they need to. Rotate the fist. And there you have Quintus Prime in their robot mode. Now, I don't know the gender of Quintus Prime. I don't know if he's male or female or whatever. So I'm just going to call it a male for now. But if somebody could tell me down in the comments below, I would 1000% appreciate it. So I got to say, this was definitely a bold move for Hasbro on their part. Like, really bold move. Like, I knew they were going to do Quintus Prime. It was inevitable because they're doing the 13 primes. But I think it was a bold move to go with the mold that they're choosing here. And not to mention a bold move with clear plastic to basically work for tentacles. So I can't complain with how that's going. So anyways, let's get him into scale comparison, then we'll get into final thoughts, and then we shall rank the figure. So here he is next to Solus Prime. He's next to Micronus. He's next to Amalgamus. Here he's next to A3. I forgot him earlier in the scale comparisons, my bad. And finally, here he is next to Megatronus. Okay, so I do appreciate this figure in a couple of ways, okay? And when I say a couple of ways, there's only a few ways that you really can appreciate a figure, but this one I can appreciate it in several different forms. So to start things off, it's Blast Effects compatible. What do I mean by Blast Effects compatible? Well, if I can get my Blast Effects pieces to come out of the bin. There we go. These two pieces right here for the ship of the gun, they work regularly as regular old guns. So you can totally have him with both of his arms out like this and firing in both directions. So, yes, you can have that. That works out quite nicely. Not to mention, we have the ability to hold not one, not two, not three, but 4 5mm ported weapons. So, you know, can hold sword, can hold a gun, can hold shields, this guy would be the ultimate weapon, but I don't think that that's what this guy was doing during those times. So, let's close the drawer full of all the parts. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into the final ranking of the figure, or let's get into the final thoughts again here. I love this figure in the sense that this is a bold move for Hasbro to go with all of this clear plastic underneath the go underneath the faux rubber-like skirts, to have a 4-armed, you know, guy working out. I feel like this was supposed to be the proto workings for a 4-armed figure, so that this guy so they could work out the issues from this guy to make this guy work. However, this guy being a parts former in certain aspects is where this one out trumps it. So, yeah. In terms of ranking, well, we're going to rank it pretty decently here. I love the fact that it's very, very easy transformation. You don't have to break the bank in order to find this guy. I've managed to get this guy at Target, so that's where, you know, you can get all your new Transformers and stuff and all of your other ones that you're looking for. But the point being is that I got this guy at Target, so you're not going to be wasting time to go wait for your pre-orders. You're not going to have to waste time waiting for it to show up at your door. It's just going to be there. So at least that's what I've experienced with multiple different Targets that I've been to. This guy's been there. So I don't know if that's been your guys' experience, but that's been mine. So anyways, that being said, and with the availability thing checked off, with the easy transformation, take note, the extremely painful part was getting this accessory out, but now that I've gotten it out at least once, now I know it'll come out again, and I don't have to worry about it again. So there is that. The one thing I really wish it did come with was I wish it did come with maybe a gun that split into 4 parts, so it could hold that, or it came with 2 guns and 2 blast effects pieces, maybe something like that. But you know what? I'm happy with what is sitting here before me. And in that case, I have to give this figure, you know what? I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I normally don't give deluxe classes a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, but the last time I did a 10 out of 10 with a deluxe class, I believe was the Legacy United G1 Optimus Prime that they remade because they were like, oh, we've got the missing link. But this, I think we're going to have to keep it a 9 out of 10. The only reason why I don't want a 10 out of 10 was because this was extremely difficult to get out of his chest in the very beginning. So, going to save that for that. Yeah, so anyways, this is Thomas Fano 1 saying, do not forget to check out Jordy's Rail videos, Patrick's Voice Rail, Riveted Rail Fan, Riveted Reviews, iStar552, Bravely GG, Kitten Cat 999, Lemon Lime Studios, Zaga the Animator, Sentinel Edits, Truster Tube, and Lil Erm. Do not forget to go check all of them out, as they are some friends, fans, and family of the show. So please do not forget to go check all of them out. And this is Thomas Fano 1 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.